Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek Kill Team Battle Report. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, coming to you here from Savannah Line Games in Pooler, Georgia, where I'll be fighting a 200-point commander battle between my Genestealer Cult and Neil's Thousand Sons. We are playing on this terrain, which is super cool looking, that Neil himself handmade, which is super awesome, very exciting stuff. And it just looks super cool. I'm so excited to play on this board. I had to say it right away because I'm super excited. So the story that we've got going on here is that Ahriman continues to want this planet that's infested with a Genestealer cult, and he wants it for his various nefarious plans that he's got going on that these guys are not aware of because they don't earn the right to know unless he decides they need to know. So they've been told to clear out this place, and they've hunted down who they think is the leader of this Genestealer cult, a patriarch that was found in this manufactorum. And they find themselves battling against him here in this place. So that's the story that we've got going on. We are going to be playing all out attack, which is one of the match play missions from the commander box, which basically means that if you take out the commander, you get 3 points. If you take out one of the other specialists, you get 2 points. And if you take out another model, you get 1 point. So that's the story that we've got going on here. Before we go any further, though, let's show you the two kill teams that are going to be fighting it out. So for the Genestealer Cult, I'll be running from left to right here. Patriarch as my commander. I then have a neophyte leader as my leader. I have an aberrant with a power pick. He will be my combat specialist. I've got a heavy specialist, which is a neophyte gunner with a heavy stubber. We have a zealot specialist, who is an acolyte leader. We then have 2 acolyte fighters with heavy rock saws and another acolyte. So for the Thousand Sons, from left to right here, we have the commander, who is a Zangor shaman on a disc of Tzeentch. We then have an aspiring sorcerer with the staff and a inferno bolt pistol. He will be the leader. We then have a rubric marine gunner, a rubric marine who has the mark of the icon of flame and an inferno bolter. We then have a demolitions expert who is a gunner with a Soul Reaper cannon. We have a Zangor with a chainsword and a pistol who will be his combat specialist. We have a Brayhorn with a Zangor blade. We then have 5 more Zangors, and we have 3 more Rubric Marines. All right, so those are the kill teams going over deployment. I've got my leader back over here. I've got my heavy specialist up on top here. I've got my patriarch down here. We've got the other regular acolyte there. We've got the acolyte leader, who is my zealot specialist, up front there. We've got the aberrant right in front there. We've got the one of my heavy rock saw dude bros over here, and my other heavy rock saw dude bro right up in there. Going over deployment for the Thousand Sons now. We've got his demolitions expert up front here. We've got regular Rubric Marine here, Rubric Marine over here. We've got the Zangor Shaman back over here. We've got his veteran specialist there. We've got a regular Zangor, a whole bunch of other regular Zangors, as well as his combat specialist Zangor, and the regular Rubric Marine, and we've got his Rubric Marine with the mark of flame, or no, icon of flame right over there. So that is the deployment for Thousand Sons. I now will have to go do my Genestealer Cult ambush. Essentially allows me to roll off to see if any of these guys get to move before game, because that has to happen before we do the initiative phase, so we'll come back to you with that. All right, only one guy passed the test to move, so my guy with the heavy rock saw over here moved up a bit, but otherwise everyone else had to stay where they were. So now we're going to roll for initiative here on turn 1. I rolled an 8, my opponent rolled a 7, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 1. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult. I've got my leader here readied, as did my heavy specialist. My commander advanced and rolled a 6, so we moved 14 inches all the way up here. All of these guys over here advanced, he advanced, and then we do have this guy over here who is going to charge into both the Zangor there and into the Rubric Marine over here, into the guy with his icon of flame. So Overwatch here from them. I've got the icon of flame guy, right? He's going to have within half range, so he's going to have within 12 inches, obviously. So he's going to have looking for 6s on the Overwatch. Ooh, getting 1. So it's strength 4, looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP minus 2. So I think that's just going to go straight through. So look for his injury test here to see if he's out all the way early. And he is going to be out of action. Okay, that was easy enough. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns here on turn 1. His aspiring sorcerer moved out over here to get some line of sight on my guy with the heavy rock saw. All 3 of these Rubric Marines up here readied themselves. These 2 Rubric Marines readied themselves, and all of the Zangors advanced out into the field over here, wanting to get around, so causing mayhem and what's not. Oh, and his Zangor priest back here, or Zangor shaman back over here, moved across to get some cover over here because he's afraid of getting shot, as all good shamans are. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, so starting it over here, my guy here is going to cast Psybolt onto his gunner guy over there. So looking for a 5 to go off. Not getting it. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Can I? 1 second. All right, yep, I can do it. So here we go, looking for a 5. Getting it with a 7, so my opponent's going to try to deny it with his aspiring sorcerer down over here. Does deny it with a 9, so that is that. And my opponent's going to do the same thing to me over here. So to this guy right over here. So here we go. Looking for a 5. Wow. Gets it with an 8. I'm going to try to deny it with my Patriarch. Do not deny it. So that is 1 mortal wound, right? So that's this 1 wound. So let's see if he is out of action. He is not. Takes a flesh wound. My opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll that. Into a 3, so still a flesh wound. All right, so my demolitions, my heavy specialist over here is going to be firing into his demolitions expert down here to start us off in the shooting phase. I'm going to be 3 shots here. He's going to be hitting on 5s because he's within half range, but he is obscured. Getting 1 hit. Looking for a 4 to wound. No wound. And now his demolitions expert is going to fire into my Patriarch over here. So he's going to have 4 shots here. These are going to be hitting on 4s because he's obscured. All right, so that's 2 hits. These are strength 5, strength 5. So I think looking for 4s to wound. No wounds. My opponent's going to spend a command point to reroll one of those. No wound. All right, so my leader is now going to fire into his front Zangor over there. So this is going to be 2 shots. He's within half range, but it's obscured there, so looking for 5s to hit. That is 1 hit. Looking for a toughness 4, right? So 5 to wound. That is not a wound. This guy back here is going to fire into my Patriarch here. He's going to be hitting on 5 because he's more than half range and obscured. No hit. Same thing with this guy over here into my Patriarch. No hit. And now his leader is going to shoot a pistol into my guy over here. He is obscured, but he's less than half range, so it's going to be hitting on a 4. That's a hit. Looking for a 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP -2 is going to go straight through his 5-up armor, so let's see if he is out of action or in injury here. +1 is going to knock him out. We've actually got 2 other readied guys down here that we meant to do, but all my guys were done shooting, so he would have been able to shoot anyway.
Both of these guys.
So this guy over here is going to fire into my aberrant over there. Yep. So he is obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s. That is 1 hit, wounding on a 4. No wound. All right, so now his other guy over here is going to fire into my zealot specialist. 2 shots, obscured, getting 1 hit, looking for a 3 to wound. No wound. All right, and that is the end of the turn. Because we have no combats here, we're just going to move on to the end there. There's no morale tests that need to be taken. So now we are just going to roll to see who will have initiative going into turn 2. I rolled a 9, so we'll come back to you after Genestealer Cult movement. All right, movement phase for the Genestealer Cult here on turn 2. My leader readied himself, as did my heavy specialist here. And then we're going to have a whole bunch of charges. So first one we're going to do is going to be my Patriarch charging into his demolitions expert here. So we've got Overwatch coming in. Getting 1 hit, strength 5, so looking for a 4 to wound. That is a wound. I've got -3, so I've got my 5-up invul save. No, goes through there, so he takes a wound. I forgot, he's my fortitude specialist, so he's got a 6-up, feel no pain. No, feels that. All right, so he has 5 wounds left, and now I need an 11-inch charge into him over here. And I get it! Wow. Woo! All right, so now my guy with the heavy rock saw is going to charge into these two Zangors over here. So they've got both have pistols here. Roll them at the same time. Getting one hit, wounding on a not a one. So his charge distance is also going to be in. All right, my Aberrant's going to charge into these two guys over there. So they're Overwatch, or one over there, because the Brayhorn doesn't have a pistol. No hit. So his charge distance is definitely in. And then my Zealot Specialist is going to charge into those two over there. So they're Overwatch. No hits. And he's in. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns here on turn 2. His leader here moved up over here, as did his commander, his shaman. These two guys moved up over here to get closer to my guy. These two Marines got closer up here, also looking on him. And then over here, his one Zangor that wasn't engaged charged into my Aberrant over there and got engaged there. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, to start it off, my Patriarch here is going to cast the Horror onto his Combat Specialist down over there. So looking for a 5 for this to go off. It does with a 5. My opponent's going to try to deny it with his leader there. And denies it with an 8. All right, so now his Zangor Shaman here is going to cast Psybolt into my Psyker over here. So he is looking for a 5 to go off. Does with a 5. I'm going to try to deny it. And I deny it with an 11. And now his Icon of Flame gets to go off in the Psychic phase, so it's going to go into my Zealot Specialist over there on a 6. Does not happen. Starting off here, my Heavy Stubber guy is going to fire into his guy over there. He is within half range and not obscured from him, so it's going to be looking for a 4 to hit. Getting 2 hits. These are going to be wounding on 4s. Getting 1 wound. He gets a 2-up save because of all his dust. He gets +1 to his armor save. And he's good. All right, so that's all the... my leader actually can't see anyone, so that's all of the readied guys that could shoot. So we're now going to move on to his guys here that are going to shoot. So we'll start with the front guy who's going to fire into my guy up here. So he is within half range, right? I think so. No, 1 second. Yeah, he's within range, so it's going to be 2 shots, but these are going to be hitting on 4s because he's obscured. Getting 1 hit. This is going to be wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP -2, so that's going to go straight through. So let's see if he's out of action. No, takes a flame. Oh, my opponent's going to spend a command point to re-roll that.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Come on.
On a 4, becomes a 3 because he's within an inch, so he takes a flesh wound. And now this guy over here is just out of half range, so he is going to be hitting on a 5. No hit. Front guy is going to shoot the same thing up here. 1 shot, hitting on a 5. No hit. Now the guy behind him is also going to shoot up into him. That is a hit. Looking for a 3. That is a wound. It's going to go straight through. +1, -1. Got to be a straight up roll here, and he's out of action. All right, so we're going to start off the Hammer of Wrath here with my Combat Specialist that attacked into his Brayhorn over there. So I'm going to have 3 attacks here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. That is going to be 2 hits. What toughness 4, right? So looking for a 4 to wound. That is going to be 2 wounds. 2 invul 5-ups. Making them both. 2 dice. All right, so now his guy that charged in here is going to attack. He's got 2 attacks here, hitting on 3s.
He shoots on 4s.
Cool. That is 2 hits. Strength 4, so looking for 4 as a wound. Getting 1 wound. AP nothing, so looking for a 5-up save. No, goes through, so he takes a wound. All right, my opponent's going to spend a command point on Up and Adam here. So the Combat Specialist, he's going to now activate his Combat Specialist since he just attacked with someone there. So his attacks are going to go into my Zealot Specialist. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, getting 3 hits. These are Strength 4 again, right? So looking for 3s to wound. Getting 3 wounds, AP nothing. So looking for 5-up saves. Making 1, so 2 will go through, so he takes 1 injury roll here. And he's out of action. All right, so now my guy here with the heavy rock saw is going to put both attacks into the front guy there, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit, wounding on a 2. That is not a wound. I'm going to spend a command point to reroll that. Into a wound, AP minus, does he have an invul save? So 5-up invul save, because they're Zangors. No, so that is going to be 2 damage. So here we go, out of action. Yeah, definitely with the 2 fill faces. All right, so now my Patriarch will attack into his dude bro over here. So these are going to be 6 attacks, hitting on 2s. That is all hits. These are going to be wounding on 3s. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, re-rolling because of monstrous rending claws. So that is going to be 3 wounds here. These are AP. Well, it doesn't make it. Oh, actually, it does make a difference because this one is AP -6 with 3 damage. These are AP -3 with D3 damage. So we have to do it separately because you've got a 5-up invul save, but the 3 damage straight up makes a difference. So we'll do this one here. So a 5-up invul save. No, so that's what I can't get any higher than that because he's only got 1 wound, right?
That's it.
All right, so here we go. So we're gonna do 3 out of action rolls here. On a 4+, he is out of action. All right, so now his leader here is going to attack into me. We're done with the Hammer of Wrath phase, so these are going to be hitting on 3s. Getting 1 hit, strength 6, so wounding on a 3.
How far ahead were you?
That is not a wound. All right, so now Zangor over here is going to attack into my dude bro with the Heavy Rock Saw. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit. Strength 4, toughness 3, 3 to wound. That is a wound. AP nothing, so 5-up save. No, goes through, out of action, or injury roll. Takes a flesh wound. All right, so now his other Zangor here is going to attack into my aberrant there, hitting on 3s. That is 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. 5-up save.
You're making me really want
No, goes through. So that's actually rolled to see if an injury roll there. No, takes a flesh wound. And now the Brayhorn is going to attack into him over there. So 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, getting 1 hit, wounding on a 4. That is a wound. AP -1, so looking for a 6-up save. I'm going to fill first. No, I wish that had come before. So +1 to this roll. He's out of action. All right, so that is it for turn number 2. Pretty brutal. So we will. We do have some rolls. I do have to roll to see if I'm broken, since I've only got 3 models left on the table, and I've got 5 that are out of action. So we're gonna see if I am rolling here. So leadership 10 on my Patriarch, and I am good to go on that. But I do have 1 nerve test to take down there because he's got a flesh wound. So 5 guys are out. 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. 6, so he is nerved. All right, so we will now roll to see who has initiative going into turn 2 here, or into turn 3. And I will take the initiative there. So we will come back to you after movement phase.
Okay. I'm thinking maybe commit everybody on him. I think that's probably do it. These guys.
He's also going to help me because he's got leadership 10.
Yeah.
Versus leadership 8 on my
leader.
So
charge, everybody charge, and he'll fight it out.
Cool.
We got psychic and all that. So everybody here, they're all going to join this and just rape this guy.
Cool.
These guys, I'm going to move them at an angle to shoot at him. You'll still get a shot, but what the hell? I'll do it.
Your shots are going to be better than my shots.
I'll do what I can do, but I got to be able to see the shoot shot right now.
Come on.
I might even be able to get a psycho. Well, I can psych the dude next.
All right, moving phase with 1,000 Suns. His Zangor Shaman and the 2 Rubric Marines up here charged into my dude bro. Down over here, everybody charged into my dude bro down there that was shaking, except for the 2 Rubric Marines who are getting a line of sight onto my leader back over here. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We'll come back to you with the psychic phase. All right, we're going to start off with my Patriarch casting Cybolt into his leader over here. So it's going to be looking for a 5 to go off. Does not go off. I'm going to spend a command point to re-roll that. Into a 6, so that does go off. Does he get to deny it?
Okay, he'll try.
The leader's going to try to deny it over here. On a 7, he does.
On Cybolt.
All right, so his shaman here is going to try to Cybolt into my leader over here, into my commander. Looking for a 5. Goes off with an 8 or a 9 because he gets +1 because he's a psychic specialist. So I'm going to try to deny that. Looking for a 10. Do not deny it. So it goes off, so he takes a mortal wound down to 4. And then my opponent's going to spend 2 CP with all of his CP that he has there for the level 1 Psyker Tactic here, Mental Focus, which will allow him to cast Cybolt again. So looking for a 5 on this roll. Ooh, does not go off with a 3, but he spent all his CP, so he can't re-roll it. All right, so at the beginning of the shooting phase, I am going to spend 1 command point on Acid Spit, which means that I choose a model within 1 inch of one of my models, and it will be my Patriarch is going to spit onto his aspiring leader here, onto his aspiring sorcerer. Sorry, my bad. He is on a 5-up now. I roll a die on a 5-up. He will suffer a mortal wound. With a filth face, he suffers a mortal wound. He's only got 1 wound, so let's see if he is takes an injury roll here. And on a 5, he is out of action. All right, so now my leader is going to start us off again the shooting phase here. He's going to shoot into the front rubric marine over there. He's within half range and not obscured, so it's going to be 2 shots hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits, wounding on 4s. That is 1 wound, 2-up armor save because of all his dust. And he's good. All right, so his Zangor that was originally in combat with my guy with the heavy rock saw is going to shoot him in the face with a pistol on a 4, right? That is a hit. And this is now going to be strength 3 because it's an auto pistol, so 4 to wound. No wound. All right, so now these guys are going to start firing into my guy over here. So we're going to start with the first one. Do I know over here? Just do another roll over here. So the first guy is going to roll here, hitting on a, he is obscured, but he's within half range, so it's going to be hitting on 4, so that's 1 hit. This is now going to be wounding on a 3. That is a wound. AP -2 goes straight through the armor, so is he out of action? He is out of action. And that's it for the shooting phase because he's got no one else to shoot at. So we will now move on to the fighting phase. All right, in the beginning of the fighting phase, I spend my last 2 CP here to get decisive strike here, and my Patriarch is going to attack first. I'm going to put 4 attacks into his Zangor Shaman. I'm going to put 1 attack each into his Rubric Marines here. So we're going to go the 4 attacks into the Shaman first, hitting on 2s. So that is going to be 3. Yeah, we got 3 hits there. These are going to be wounding on 3s. All right, re-rolling, thankfully. All right, so that is 3 wounds at AP -3. So he's going to have his 5-up invul save. Oh, and he makes them all! That is killer! And now we got 1 each into these guys over here. So we're going to go the 1 into the left, right here, and then into the left. So right, hitting on a 2, that's a hit. That is a wound. 5-up invul save. He's good. And then into the other guy there. That is not a hit. All right, so now my opponent's going to do his combat specialist down over here. These are going to be hitting on 3s. All right, so it's going to be 3 hits, wounding on 3s. He's strength 4, so that's 2 wounds. Making 1 save. Oh no! See if he's out of action. He's already got 1 flesh wound there. And he is out of action.
Are you ready?
All right, so now his Shaman here is going to attack into my Patriarch. He's going to have 5 attacks, and he's got 1 attack with the disc. These are going to be hitting on 3s. Okay, so 1 hit with the disc. Strength 4, so looking for a 5 to wound. No wound. All right, so we got 1 attack each from the Marines over here. So the first one, that is a hit. Looking for a 5 to wound. No wound. And then the second one does not hit. And that is the end of turn 3. I have to roll to see if I'm broken, since the only one I have left is my commander. And on an 8, he is good to go. So, and I don't think you have any flesh wounds on anybody in here. So, we will come back. Let's roll now to see who has the initiative going into turn 4. Rolled a 6. My opponent rolled a 6, so re-roll. I rolled a 6. My opponent rolled an 8, so we'll come back to you after movement phase for the Thousand Suns. All right, movement phase for the Thousand Suns. These guys all stayed in combat here. All of these guys advanced up over this way, and these guys advanced over here. So that is going to be it for the movement phase. We will come back to you, because my guy's just going to stay there, so we'll come back to you at the psychic phase. All right, so his Shaman is going to start us off by side-bolting me over here, looking for a 5. Gets it with a 11 because he's a Psyker Specialist, so I'm going to be looking for double fill first. No. So I will take the wound. So because he had the +1 to the roll there, the roll was a 10. +1 makes it an 11 on the result. 11 plus is D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds. And his Icon of Flame is now going to cast into me on a 6-up. No.
My face is
All right, into the shooting phase. I'm going to use the my 1 CP for acid spit into one of his rubric marines over here. So on a 5-up, mortal wound. No.
And I can reroll.
All right, so my at the beginning of the fight phase now, my opponent's going to go first here. He's going to use 1 CP for Duel of Honor, which will allow his commander to reroll failed hits and wound rolls for his commander attacking into my commander. So here we go. So he's got 5 attacks plus 1 for the disc here. These are going to be hitting on 3s, rerolling. Reroll that 1. All right, so those are going to be. This one here is going to be wounding on a 5. These are going to be wounding on a 3. So 5 on that one. Nope, nothing there. Rerolling because of his thing. That does go off. So I think he's got 1 second. All right, so I've got a 4-up save there for that one. Does not make it on a 6-up. Do I get to? I do. Feel no pain. Woo! And these are wounding on 3s. Rerolling because of his tactic or because of the thing. So that's going to be 5 saves here. These are going to be -1, so 5 ups. Come on, 5 ups. Making 1 of them, so 4 go through here. These are what, D3 damage, right? These are D3 damage each. So the first one here, D3, is 1. Feel no pain? No, I don't feel that pain. So I am now down to 0 wounds. So he has to roll the injury test here, or see if he is out of action. And on a 6 he is! And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how this game ends with a tabling of the Genestealer Cult. There was 2 moments that just flabbergasted me. One was when he stuck every single one of his invul saves in the combat with my Patriarch last turn over here. The second one was the D3 mortal wounds with Cybolt. That was super impressive. Super impressive. So, yeah, awesome game on some awesome terrain here from my opponent, Neil. Like, incredible stuff. He did this for the Necromunda terrain building group on Facebook, the competition they have there. So if you're part of that, go make sure you vote for it because it's pretty awesome. And it looks super awesome. It was a ton of fun to play on and just felt really cool and thematic and awesome there. So, but a victory for the Thousand Suns. I had a blast. I hope all of you did as well. I have been Phil the Glacial Geek as always. My opponent's been Neil, and until next time, have fun.